everyone, so for today's video I found this cute project on Pinterest last year, and it's a jar that you keep what books you read in of the year, and I also done one what made me smile and the movies I watched, and you're supposed to put ticket stubs in the movie one, but I rarely go to the movies, so I just wrote down the movies I watched that year. So I'm going to start out, maybe give you a little review of them all, not very much because it'd be way long, but I'm in a book club, so I read a book a month. So I read 12 books this year, plus some. Okay, so just randomly picking them up. I Spy DIY Style. Oh, that was just a craft book, so I guess that really doesn't count. Confessions of a Prairie Bitch by Allison Ingram. I read this while I was working, and I really liked it. There was a lot of behind-the-scenes things from Little House on the Prairie. It was very inspiring, too, and hilarious, but also kind of emotional. The Killer of Bees is about two girls whose parents die, and they bury them in the backyard. Yeah, I liked it. The Snow Child. This was the first one I read this year, and it was so good, but it was kind of magical, and the movie Frozen is based off it. Very little, but yeah. How Starbucks Saved My Life. That's a memoir about a man who cheated on his wife, and I think he got another woman pregnant, and he worked at Starbucks for I don't know if it was the rest of his life. I don't think it was the rest of his life, but for quite a while. The Moon and More by Sarah Dessen. I love Sarah Dessen. She's amazing. Riverside Drive. I don't remember that one. Half of the Carrie Diaries. I did not finish that book. I want to, but I never got around to it. And I also listened to half of the Diabetes with Owls audiobook, and I couldn't really get into it either. Gorgeous by Rachel Vale. It's kind of a young adult book, and I'm 20, but I still like young adult. Teen fiction. Whatever. Enmity and Sorrow. I was not a fan of that. It was about a cult. Juliet, I loved it. It was so long, but of course it relates back to Juliet, Romeo and Juliet, but it was so good. Hammett Unwritten, I don't remember that one either. Kissing Shakespeare by Pamela Mingle, that was a good one. It was young adult. Lucky by Rachel Vale. It's the first one of Gorgeous, I think, or maybe the second. Those are pretty good books. Bitter with Baggage seeks the life of... Okay, this was a funny one with those little furry chickens you buy from magazines, so it wasn't actually a chapter book. And I'm sorry if this video gets cut off, my battery is low. Boo, the World's Cutest Dog. Internet sensation. Walks with Men. That was okay. It wasn't really a page turner for me. Love, Lucy by Lucille Ball. That was a pretty good one. I read it while I was at work, because I was a secretary. If You Ask Me, and Of Course You Won't by Betty White. I read that in 2 hours. Me Before You. I cried, sobbing. Oh my gosh. I finished it at 5 in the morning and I sobbed. That's all I'm saying. Heart Full of Soul by Taylor Hicks, who won American Idol Season 5. I think it's really cool that he has a book. 50 Shades of Grey, no comment. I loved it though. I really loved it. I'm excited for the movie. The Wives of Henry Oates. I wasn't a fan of that one. The Dalai Lama's Cat and the Art of Purring, my new favorite book. Everyone must read this book. It is so inspirational. Two Boys Kissing. I love this book too. It's just so inspirational and amazing. I about cried on some parts. Grumpy Cat's book. If I hadn't used Post-its, this would be a lot easier. Insurgent. And I also read Divergent. The Dry Grass of August. I wasn't a fan of that one either. Poetry books, because I was also a poetry book club. Anna Karenina. I didn't make it through that one. I tried watching the movie along with a book, and it was not a fan. Oh my gosh, I can't get this unfolded. 1D, Where We Are, Our Band, Our Story. Loved it. And yes, it does count as a book. It's children's information, is what the bookstore says anyway. Looking for Me by Beth Hoffman, and she is a Kentucky author. So that was really cool to read a book by her, and I was going through kind of a hard time, and I was reading it over the summer, and that book was just, it was uplifting. I couldn't really put it down. Cinnamon and Gunpowder. I really wasn't a fan of that one. My book club is kind of older than I am. The Yana Lassie Writing Camp for Girls. We got to video chat with this author at the book club, and it was so awesome. She's amazing. I recommend the book. And she has another one coming out, hopefully, soon. Mary Coyne. I was not a fan of that one either. Breakfast at Bloomingdale's. I loved it. It was a young adult. Life After Life. I like this one. It was the #1 book of 2013. So it was good. And the last one, I'm guessing, yep, Divergent. So thank you for watching, and leave a comment your favorite book that you've read of 2013.